Hi, this is Scott with Android Guys,
I'm Luke.
and we are going to talk about phones.
Yeah, we are.
Let's talk about phones at a particular carrier.
Okay.
We've been doing this series of best phones at mobile carriers.
Yeah.
Today, it is Metro's turn,
Yes.
or Metro by T-Mobile,
Yes.
as it's officially known. What we've done over the last few weeks is look at each carrier who offers a phone selection.
Sure.
And kind of break them down into the best phones at that particular carrier.
Yeah.
We look at a number of things, including, how old is the phone? What
Mhm.
version of Android is it? What is its price point? And then what is just the general hardware and software package? And then we kind of split that into the needs. So if somebody says to us right off the street, hey, man, you guys cover phones. You guys talk about different things like that, right? I'm thinking about switching to Metro, and I want to get a new phone. What's the best phone? So that's a relative term.
Yeah. The next step in that conversation is, well, what do you do with your phone?
First of all, how dare you speak to me?
Yeah.
Second,
Whoa. I don't know you.
So we'll ask them, okay, tell me about your current phone. What do you do with your phone? Is this your first phone? Who's it for? All of those questions. And then we'll figure out, okay, you sound like what we would qualify as an entry-level user.
Sure.
Maybe you're shopping with a budget in mind. You need to buy multiple phones. Or you just kind of say, I really don't know what I'm going to do with my phone yet. Just kind of want to have one. Take some pictures, play some games, and do whatever it is people do with smartphones.
Sure.
So that's the entry-level user. Luke, what would we pick for that person?
Well, after a lot of thinking and looking, we landed on the Samsung A13 5G. This is a phone that has hit our list multiple times.
Yeah.
There's a reason for it, though. It's a great device. It's got a nice 6.5-inch display that's going to get you full 2K resolution.
Yeah,
so
HD
it's
plus.
HD plus resolution. It's got decent battery life, a 5,000 milliamp battery, so you're going to be able to have definitely probably more than a day of talk on that. It's got multiple cameras, front facing cameras. It is only 4G, so it's not the 5G. I misspoke. It's just the A13. And then it also has a headphone jack.
Yeah.
So that's another feature that we, it has Bluetooth and has Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff. But the headphone jack is a feature we don't see that much on phones anymore.
Right.
And that really kind of speaks to more of that maybe entry-level user that is still using maybe headphones or doesn't have Bluetooth in their car. So they're using an auxiliary cable to hook up to their car or something like that. That's a feature it's really nice to have because you can still charge your phone while using headphones. Other wired options for more robust devices.
Yeah.
You're getting rid of charging at the same time if you're trying to use headphones.
Yeah.
This one is it's a great phone, and if you get it from Metro right now, it is $10.
Yeah, right. So that's when we talk about the price point. We'll usually say for the entry level user, we'll stay about $250 and below.
Sure.
And this normally comes in at about $200.
Mm-hmm.
Then beyond that, you'll start to get into some 5G phones.
Right.
Things like there's a version of the Galaxy A13. But yeah, right now, if you bring your number to Metro and you sign up a new line of service, you can get it for free.
Ooh.
But yeah, if you're an existing Metro customer and you're saying, hey, I want to get my phone, you're probably looking at about $200 for that, which is still a really good price to stay at for that. So that's the Galaxy A13.
Okay.
Now let's move up to the mid-range and find something that says, okay, this is not my first rodeo.
Sure.
I've got a few things that I like to do with my phone. I don't want to turn around and buy a new one here in a year. I like to play some games. I like to do, take more photos, share on social media, things like that. I'm willing to spend maybe a couple $100 more for that.
Sure.
What did we decide for the mid-range?
So this is also Samsung, is the A53. This one is still a 6.5-inch screen, but it's got an AMOLED it's what do they call it? Infinity O display. So it's a really nice, clear display. This also has a decent battery, 5,000 milliamp battery. So you're going to have no problem having a full day's charge out of this one. Same octa-core processor. It's got a little bit more RAM, so maybe a little bit better at multitasking. This one is expandable with a micro SD. Also, the A13 is also up to 1 terabyte. This one is 5G, so you will have that 5G data for fast downloads and nice streaming, high definition from your favorite binging provider.
Right.
And you'll have quad cameras, including a 64 megapixel wide camera. This thing, it kind of ticks all the boxes for anything that the modern phone user needs.
Now, interestingly, this is normally the mid-range pick for a lot of carriers.
Yeah.
This is, if you've listened to this podcast over the last couple of months, you've heard this.
Yeah.
This is not unique to Metro. Now, this one's priced like an entry-level phone right now.
Sure is.
So if you switch carriers, you bring your phone to Metro right now, you can get this for as low as $49.99.
Yeah.
If you get a new number, you're still only looking at about $280 for this thing, where it normally comes in at about $450. $500 is the typical retail price for that. So this is a great package for the money at Metro. For the mid-range, the Galaxy A53 is an easy pick for us at a lot of carriers, and at this price, if you're considering it, I don't know how long the price is going to hold.
Sure.
But I would say jump on that.
Yeah. It's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. Now, if we go a little bit further into somebody that says, hey, I want to do even more. I'm willing to spend even more money.
Sure.
To a point, what are some of the best phones I can get, or what would you say is the best phone for my needs? Let's go flagship. Let's call it flagship.
So for the flagship, this one is interesting because it's not the most current device.
Yeah.
It's about a season behind. This is the Galaxy S21 Fan Edition.
Yeah.
It's a 5G phone. So it has that going for it. It's got good camera, 32 megapixel front facing camera. It's got a wide and ultra wide and a telephoto lens. It's going to get you about 37 hours of talk time. It's a 4,500 milliamp battery.
Yeah.
This is a 6.4 inch full HD display.
Yeah.
It has wireless charging. And let's see, does this one have the fast charge? I don't think it does have a fast charge.
It has the I believe it does have. I have to find the actual speed of that. But one of the other things is that this does have is the 120 hertz refresh rate.
Yes.
So this is kind of, you'll see that in a lot of flagship phones. This is kind of like, I would say maybe a junior flagship if you were to compare it to today's top of the line.
Sure.
It just happens to be what Metro has in terms of availability today. They do have some other models to kind of, get into. Like they have the 22, but for the price, this is one of the reasons we selected this one is you're looking at about $700 normally. Right now, you can get this thing for $510.
If you bring your number to Metro, $200.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where we're going to say, hey, this is, we're willing to forgive and overlook the fact that you don't have the 22 Ultra
Sure.
or the one that we normally pick as your flagship phone. This is an awful lot of phone at a mid-range price, but if you're bringing your phone to them, it's entry-level price.
Right.
So yeah, and the 21 is no slouch. When a lot of times when the new flagship phone rolls out, I've had friends tell me, "Great, now I can buy last year's model."
Right.
I was waiting for this to come out so that the other price would drop. It's kind of like buying computers and buying cars. I would love that new one, but I'm willing to wait a year and get yesterday's or whatever. And one of the things about the fan edition is it's all of the things that people love about the Galaxy S series and the flagship phone, but it's the more affordable approach to that. It says, okay, it's everything that you love and want or love and need with some of what you might want. So it's kind of borderline, keeps you from going over the deep end and saying, okay, they threw everything into this phone.
Right.
So that's what the fan edition is.
Yeah, and at that price point, it's kind of a why would you get anything else?
Yeah.
Unless you really are looking for something. If you don't do a lot with your phone, like you said, we have a phone that starts for free if you're coming in as a new user.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to spend a little bit of money, that is a great phone for $200.
So those are the three that we normally pick. And sometimes we will select something that's maybe off the beaten path or more specialized.
Sure.
Sometimes it's a gaming phone. Sometimes it's a folding phone. Sometimes it's a phone for productivity and, jotting down notes, doing signatures, things like that. And that's the case here. We do have a pick for that type of user.
Yeah.
If somebody comes to us and says, I've got a little bit more specialized needs. I want to be able to jot down some freehand notes and save things. I want to be able to mark up sketches, or I want to be able to do things. I sign a lot of documents on the go. So a stylus is important to me. We have a selection for that.
Yeah.
What do we pick?
The Moto G Stylus. This is a 5G phone.
Yep.
But in the name stylus, it comes with a little stylus pen, so you can do all of your note taking, marking up photos, signing documents, all kinds of different things with that stylus. This one has a nice big screen. It is a 6.8-inch screen, full HD screen. It's got multiple cameras on it. It's got a nice 5,000 milliamp battery, and expandable storage up to 1 terabyte with a micro SD card. This one is running Android 11, so it's a little bit older of a version of Android, but it's got a lot of features, a lot of specs into a model that has aged well.
Yeah, the stylus is the big draw here. And when you look at some of the other features, it's kind of an entry-level, mid-range, borderline phone, but you're not spending a ton of money for this.
Right.
A couple of years ago, you would have spent a lot of money for a phone with a stylus, way more than what you're going to spend here. This also has your headphone jack.
Yeah.
This one also has the 5G capability. It's got a high refresh rate on the display. So some of the things that you're doing on that, it's going to look nice. It's going to be a very nice phone.
Definitely.
This one is 128 gigabytes of storage. This one normally sells for about $320. As of today, recording that, if you need a new phone number, you come to Metro, you're looking at $130.
Sure.
So that's a really good price. Now, if you bring your number to them, they happen to have a promotion as of today that you can get that phone for $10.
What?
Yeah, that's a really dumb number when you think about what we've spent on phones in the past.
Yeah.
And have been happy with.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, the Moto G Stylus 5G. This is a 2022 phone.
Yeah.
It's just a heck of a package at the right price from Metro today.
Yeah.
So those are 4 that we've selected. These aren't necessarily the be all end all. You should consider no other phone type thing. These are just going to be off the top of our head. We know these phones. We've seen them at other carriers. These are the ones that we know and can trust and can recommend. You can always buy your phone outright as well.
Sure.
Metro will work with pretty much any unlocked GSM phone. So if you have a phone, you could probably bring it to them. Or if you're considering buying your phone outright from the manufacturer, that's going to work as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were asking us, these are the phones we picked for best phones at Metro by T-Mobile for summer 2022.
Thanks for listening.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.